My name is Sammy. I was brought up by a single mother. But there was a time when I was 16 years old, my mother remarried after so many years of single motherhood.
How was the experience at that age with your stepfather? Did he fill the gap of a father to your expectations?
At first, we were good. He once came to my school during parents' conference. He could take me to movies. He could take me for road trips and many more, but that did not last long. He started showing his true colors.
How was your mood and behavior towards him?
I always give respect where it's needed. I never behaved badly towards him. Except for the times when I wanted to speak to my mom privately, he never used to like that. He will demand I speak to my mom in his presence. I didn't have private moments with my mom at all. I felt like he was robbing me my mother's love.
Did your mother make efforts to allow you some time with her?
My mother tried to be neutral. She never wanted to show him that I come first. She wanted to act like we are all important to her. That troubled me. Sometimes she will tell me, son, please respect your father, do as he says. I started to drift away from my mother. I said to myself, you are on your own.
Apart from demanding you to speak to your mother on his presence, what else did he do that turned you off?
There was a day he set me up. I guess he wanted to kick me out of my mother's house. One morning, my mom came to my room. I was sleeping. She was outraged. She asked me, why did you take money from my purse? She said her 20,000 shillings was missing from her purse. She said the money was for my third-term school fees. I was in Form 4, so it was my last term at school to complete high school. I had one day to report back to school since we were at home for the August holiday. I thought she would check with my stepfather, but she trusted him than me. She said John cannot steal from her. I felt anger, confusion and despair. I even felt like I was not worthy in this world. A thought of committing suicide crossed my mind.
My goodness, that was heartbreaking. Did she find the money?
She did. She went into my school suitcase that I had packed my stuff already waiting to go to school and started to check one by one. To my surprise and to her surprise, the money was in my mathematics textbook. I was perplexed. I tried to defend myself, but my mom did not listen to me. He called John, my stepfather, to come and speak to me. And she left the room. My stepfather did not speak to me. He looked at me with a smack on his face and left the room too.
Oh, my friend. That was a sad experience. Did you go to school the following day as earlier planned?
When the day for school came, I went to my mother to say goodbye. She did not allow me to talk. She told me to go to school and did not give me any pocket money. She demanded an apology from me. I was heartbroken. But I decided to apologize for something I did not do, just to make peace with my mom.
Did she accept your apologies?
My mother breathed a sigh of relief when I apologized, but for my stepfather, he still showed a smack on his face. I left to school. But I remember praying silently to God. I told God to help me so that someday I will prove to my mom that it was not me who stole the money. My mom was a bank manager at a local bank. She did not have any idea that John was taking advantage of her. That is the reason as to why he wanted to get rid of me. John was a thug. He was a criminal who escaped jail. He knew my mom was a bank manager, so he came to him and showered her with romance, and my mom innocently fell in love with him. He had a plan to execute at that bank. That's why he came to my mom in form of a husband.
What a sad story. Did your mom find out earlier before he executed his plans?
Since we serve a faithful God, she did find out. As I went to school, days passed. It was on a Saturday afternoon after supper. Our school dining TV, we are allowed to watch news at 7 o'clock before going preps. I was at the dining table taking my supper while watching the news. I saw breaking news that a criminal who escaped to maximum prison has been caught in a certain town. Looking at the criminal, it was John, my stepfather. I was totally surprised. I did not believe my eyes nor ears. I went to my teacher and borrowed a phone to confirm from my mother whether what I saw was true. Woe to me. It was true. My mother was crying and sobbing. She told me she was very sorry. She said she was so blind she couldn't realize he was deceiving her.
So the police found him on time before his plans?
Oh yes, he had planned to rob the bank in 2 days' time. He had already stolen my mother's staff card and even some keys. His accomplice set him up. Remember, he had been hiding from the police. His accomplice called him. The police tracked him down using the phone of his accomplice.
That was perfect. The police did a great job.
My mother learned her lesson very well. She never trusts strangers. She has made peace with me and herself. I also learned something, that always say the truth. No matter what, the truth will set you free.